Yep.
Yeah.
My sound okay, by the way?
Yeah, you sound
Yeah.
fine.
Okay, good.
Fine.
Yeah. I got a couple of things to talk about tonight anyway, so
Okay, I think we are up. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. It's Friday, TGIF, all that other good stuff. So welcome, welcome. I think, yeah, for some reason it hops over into a new stream.
okay.
So yeah, so everybody's hopping on here. So we got Greg's hopping on, Ross, what's up? And I'll pop out my chat here. And so everybody will just start moving over here to the new connection. And yeah, we can get started on a Friday and party it up. So,
Absolutely.
you know, thank goodness it's it's a weekend. It's been a long week for me, but it's all good now.
Scary week.
Yeah, that too. You ain't kidding there. It's been a scary week, but it's all good. And let's see.
It's been a long week for me.
Yeah, and it's been a rainy week, so I mean, haven't been getting anything done, and go and get the mighty, get the mighty handled and the mighty rather, and we'll get things and then get things back to normal. Hopefully, by the time everything gets back, I can I can get this bad boy up and going because I mean this is nuts. Here is the latest, all the clouds. They're me and Dave's fault. So it's on me
Yeah,
and Dave.
I don't know about that.
So here is the Wanderer Astro panel, light panel. And if I can unloosen this thing a little bit, there we go. And it's kind of cool how you got the light panel here, and then you have this long add-on dovetail.
Yep.
So this will go under this will get mounted onto the new 915, and then it just intersects in and slides in. There are bolts on the side of it so you can secure everything, and you just get this sucker slid in there and get it tightened, and then you're good. And so I haven't had a chance to really use it yet, but I'm looking forward to once I get everything up and going here, um, to get it moving. And
So that adjusts in the Wanderer Astro, the main software package that they offer, and then you plug that into Nina and you
yes,
can control the brightness. So it will adjust the brightness in Nina, just like
yes,
my flat panel does.
yes, yes, that is what it'll do. Yeah, I mean, this one is 300, and the flat panel is 320 millimeter in diameter. So that's for the 11.
11.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, of course, then you got this freaking monster of a dovetail. If I can get this thing, I was just showing it to the guys. So it's all coming along. So look at that dovetail.
Now the flat panel dovetail goes up top, right?
No, it slides up underneath.
So it flips up.
Yeah.
It
So
flips up. It doesn't flip down.
correct. It flips up.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I mean, I could flip it down. It's either way. I think you can go either way.
Is it the Alto or
No, it's the Wanderer Astro.
Wanderer? Okay.
Yeah. So no, this isn't a beast, Tom. You should see freaking You see the 14. This is just an 11. But my God. And then I've got the Melee. If I sit down here, I did get so I had some extra 3D printed pieces from Buckeye Astro. So I've got my Pegasus here with the Pegasus Advance, Powerbox Advance, and then I put on top of it here we have my Melee and heatsink. So we've got the heatsink on here.
It just thermal double-sided tape.
Yep.
So you had to buy a $15 roll to use a 6-inch piece.
Basically.
Yeah.
But I got it, from during Amazon Prime days. So it was probably, so it was like $8. But yeah, that's exactly it. And then and yeah, this is gonna be it. So we'll just see how we get this all going, and once the mighty gets taken care of, and we'll be back to business. We'll be rocking and rolling.
And you
So
put are you going to use the William Optics on that?
I'm planning on it. I'm planning on it. Yeah, because now that I have, once I get the handle removed, I'll have all this space here for the William Optics.
Have you dry fit it to make sure that it'll fit?
No, but if the worst comes to worst, I can detach this, and then
Ah.
maybe I can just put this down below
Okay.
On the back side, yeah.
on the back, because I've got
You got a lot of extra room on that
I've got all
dovetail.
this on the back,
Oh yeah, yeah.
so I can.
You could
I'll
put
be
it
able to do
underneath
that.
easily.
Yeah, so I'll be able to put it all up underneath, and then just redo the wiring, and then just put some
You got a rotator on that too, don't you?
I do. This has a little rotator. Here's my little rotator right here. It's just a manual rotator right now.
Oh,
before manual rotator.
okay.
So it's just a little one right now. Eventually I may end up getting an Arco at some point.
The dovetail doesn't hit the filter wheel doesn't hit the dovetail, does it?
You know what? No, I will set it up where right now with this, it doesn't hit the filter wheel, and then I will and since I'm only going basically 180 degrees either one way or another, I'll just adjust accordingly so it doesn't hit the dovetail. But yeah, that would be something that I would have to consider once I get the Arco, because it will hit the dovetail. Yeah, this it would end the filter wheel would end up hitting the dovetail.
Well, you could always just, take a hacksaw to it and cut it off.
Nah. What fun would that be?
I've seen people have a lot of fun with a hacksaw.
Yeah. But I'm thinking having this on the bottom here will also allow me, since having the dovetail here on the bottom, I would be able to get it balanced a bit better as far as its center balance, getting this more centered onto the RA axis, I would think.
The other thing you can do is get a round pencil, not an octagonal pencil, but a round one, a barrel pencil, and set the OTA on the barrel pencil and find your center.
Yeah, and
on
then
the pencil.
mark it.
And then mark it.
Yep. Yeah.
Before you put it back on that mount, just find your center. Get everything you want to put on there. Get it all on there. Get it where you want it, and see where your center is, and play around with it until you're happy with all the position of everything. But you can do that right on your floor. It's nice and safe. It sits right on the floor, and you can figure out the balance that way, real easy.
Yeah.
Or just a piece of doweling if you got a piece of doweling.
Yeah. And then just figure out where everything is, and just get the center balance, and I'll mark it with some tape on the dovetail, and then say okay, and then that way I can do that. So yeah, no, that's a good call. That's a very good call. So here it is. So yeah,
and maybe something more indelible than tape, even just like a marking awl, just put a small scribe mark, on your dovetail just to mark center.
Yep.
Tape has a tendency of moving, and especially in the heat.
Yes, that's a good point. Yeah, I'll probably, get maybe a permanent marker and just put a nice little dot somewhere, something like that. Or like you say, maybe an etching.
Yep.
But yeah, but right now it's raining. It's gonna be raining for God knows how long. So I'm gonna go ahead and get everything, get everything back, repaired and get everything back, and then hopefully I'll be able to get this thing nice, get this thing going. So yeah. So besides that, we got folks chatting. So Tom and Norm, we're all talking about, things, this heat, 100 degrees, 100 degree, this weekend, and humidity, high humidity and stuff like that. So it's just going to be, miserable for a lot of folks as far as dealing with the heat. So hopefully everybody can stay indoors and stuff like that, or just cool off and just find a nice place to chill.
Yep.
And drink a lot of agua.
Looks like maybe Wednesday night I might, maybe. But see, who knows? It says average cloud cover 61%, but it says mainly clear. Whatever that means.
Yeah.
Spotty.
It's just so frustrating. Oh, next Monday, July 28th, clear. 4% average cloud cover. Maybe.
Maybe there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance, and next Tuesday, even 0% cloud cover, 68 degrees. Oh, please.
I hear you.
Yep. All we want are clear skies. And I hear, there's Tom. I love having moisture dripping off my scopes. I hear you. I hear you.
Well, I personally, on my rig, I have a king size flannel bed sheet, a top sheet that's just an extra that I never use, and I just fold that sucker in half and throw that right over the top of the scope and pinch it closed with a couple of, clamps, just spring clamps, and that keeps the dust and other stuff off of it, and that also allows you to spray insecticide on the sheet, so you're not spraying it directly on the scope to keep the buggity boos
spiders
away.
and stuff from getting in there.
Yeah.
Because down in Florida, you got some nasty bugs.
Oh man.
Yeah, we get people talk about cockroaches, right? Cockroach, right? And we
palmetto bugs
like this. This.
Yes.
Okay, the size of my damn thumb.
You guys get those in Georgia too, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, they get them in South Carolina, Georgia. Yeah.
They're fast little bastards too, boy. I try to catch them in the cup, slide them up and let them go, but
and they fly.
Oh, they fly. That's why they're not cockroaches, because German cockroaches don't fly.
Yeah,
they scurry.
Yeah,
like Democrats. Sorry. Oh, is that out loud? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. That was bad.
Your inside voice made it to the outside.
So sorry. No, I'm not sorry.
Do you want the dark side? Are you a dark sider or are you a light sider? Which one is it there, Scott? Come on. Let me know.
We're red pillars.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Don't get me started.
No. You started it. I wasn't going there. I'm leaving it alone. Let's talk Astro.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's talk about Greg. Let's talk about Greg's APOD.
Oh gosh,
Greg Meyer?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
What?
I haven't seen it.
Didn't he say he got an APOD on that image, or was it just on Astrobin, image of the day.
Hold on. When was this?
It's that image on
Greg,
this
you're on.
week's.
If you're online, what's going on here, buddy?
He was on there.
I saw he was the first one on. Let's chat here. Let's talk about this. If you've got image of the day from Astrobin or an APOD, we're excited for you, man. Inquiring minds want to know.
Astrophotographer captures galactic fireworks near the Seahorse Nebula in eerie deep space photo.
Yeah, I think that's the one we were looking at.
Yeah, that's Greg Myers captures photo.
Where's this at?
He's looking.
He posted this article on Discord. But
on Discord. Let's head over to Discord.
I thought he said that or maybe he was nominated for an APOD. It's a friggin' amazing image.
Let me see here. Oh, this was on space.com.
Space.com, yeah.
So no, let me share this here really quick.
Well, just pull it up in this week's Image of the Week contest.
Yeah, you can pull it up, but I wanna share this as far as here. Let's go here. Share. I mean, what was that? Got this on the web, man.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one we were looking at.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is his current image for Image of the Week.
Yeah, that's a beauty.
It is. So, latest news. So, nice. Congrats there. On the
Pretty
article,
awesome.
right?
I mean, that's an amazing image. I mean,
it is
unbelievable how beautiful it is. And
yeah.
all the stuff that's in there. He's got that cluster. He's got the galaxy. He's got the, the seahorse and all that intergalactic dust and stuff.
Yep.
It's like, wow. And the star colors are phenomenal.
Yeah.
So
it's a beauty.
It is. So great job. Very nice.
That's one that you want to put, you want to have printed on metal.
Yep.
Oh, for sure.
So, yeah.
So,
him being, it's kind of, him being in Arizona right now, he has that opportunity, the no humidity or very little humidity out there in that desert and stuff like that. But
yeah, he gets 495 clear days a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait a minute. There's only 365 in a year.
Yeah.
But it's just
don't forget
he travels a lot though too. He goes all over the place. I mean, he goes to Utah, he goes to Texas, he goes all over.
Yeah, he does.
Southern Utah's like that too.
Even northern Utah, right, up and outside of Salt Lake City in the Salt Flats. I mean, it's crystal clear out there.
Yep.
Wyoming, and you got that whole area up that area is just beautiful. Clear skies. And
I mean, in Mexico, you've got that. You've got that in Arizona, all around there in that southwestern area. You've got that. So it's pretty.
Ain't got a beach though.
No
ocean.
No ocean.
I got 3.
Sometimes that may not be a bad. That may not be a bad thing. You don't. Sometimes you wonder what's coming out of the ocean.
I don't know. I love the ocean, man.
Especially on the West Coast. You got too many crazies coming out of the ocean. You be like,
I love the Gulf of Mexico and I love the Atlantic Ocean, man.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. So
He's
yeah.
not entering any more picks, FYI. he's tired of winning.
Oh God.
Well, Greg, if you're listening,
He is. He's on the
yeah,
chat.
Shelfin and I were talking about this yesterday. In the redesign for the website for AstroWorld Web, and we're planning on adding a third category for image of the week. So you've got your amateur or your beginner, however you want to word it.
Yeah.
You've got your advanced, right, and then you've got your expert.
Interesting.
Well, if we have an expert one, then I'm putting images back in there.
There you go.
I'll go up against Greg.
There you go. Then you can go up against. There you go, Super Dave.
I'm not going to be able to get as much data as he does, but I'll take him on.
There you go. Now it's a heavyweight fight.
Yeah.
Him. Come on, Tom. You got to get in it too.
Tom, he can do it too.
You need to get in it too.
So we got to get Jason back in there, and
yes, we do. We got.
Jason's had some great images in there too.
You got
Who is this? This is S6Ep49. Yeah. I don't know if you're a Star Wars robot or what, but yeah.
That's who is that?
He's on often. He's on.
Yeah, we know him.
Okay.
Hello.
And there's Dan.
Danny boy.
Danny boy.
It looks like he's home.
I just got home.
Ah.
This is very nice.
It's LC. It's LC.
LC.
LC-X-T9.
LC. Okay. Cool.
Oh, that's in the chat, yeah?
Yeah. So how's it going, brother?
It's going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going.
Yeah.
And been a long day. I've been running around since 2:00.
Did your appraisal go well?
So you never know until it's done, but it's done. So so that's it. We did some look around with the contractor for the basement. Getting AstroWorld more functional.
There you go.
So we'll see how it works out. I'm pricing a neon sign, so we'll see how that works out. with a shooting star, kind of.
Yeah, like shooting star and everything. Okay.
So we'll see.
Hello, Sherry.
Oh, you're gonna have one built from the logo that Shelfin built you?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That'd be nice. That'd be pretty cool to have, for the background when for the show and everything when she gets in. That'd be pretty cool.
Nice.
So that'd be nice.
Now, if I actually had something interesting to say, that'd be even cooler.
Yeah, hey.
It's a tough room, man.
It always is. Has been for 6 years.
Dude, that dovetail is a trip.
Yeah, man. That's a weapon.
It's either a trip or he's going to trip on it.
It's a weapon, man.
I mean, hey, I was just showing it again. I'll do it again. Because, this thing is nuts. What's that?
Primalucci actually had to make a new box just to ship that thing.
Look at the length of this freaking thing.
It's 3 feet long?
It's 915 millimeters, so whatever.
That's the one that I have, right? Is that the same one that I got from you?
915, yeah. And they just came
out
for the
127?
Yeah, they just came out with an 1100 for the 14.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's nuts. I'm looking.
Hey, Greg says he's having a problem getting on his Eagle 3. Somehow got changed.
The box doesn't fit on my screen. Here it goes.
Yeah, it's 3 feet, 36 inches.
Yeah, that's
I
the
got
one
I got to back up just so you guys can see it. It's like it's almost like my wingspan.
Yeah, it's
No,
crazy.
It's crazy.
I'm glad it works. So what
So
Greg's having problems with his Eagle 3?
Yeah, you can't get into remote desktop. Sounds like the problem you were having, Dan.
Hold on. Is it at
He says-
Starfront?
yeah, that's what I was asking. I'm wondering if it's the one at
If it's
Starfront.
the one at Starfront, please say that you have some sort of any desk or other secondary way to get into Eagle. I'm sure it's on. I'm 99% chance the IP address has changed and it's not, it wasn't connecting for me either. So please say you have some other secondary way to get on. If not, you're gonna have to put a support ticket and have them check the IP address.
Like Chrome desktop or something like that.
Chrome or any desk or TeamViewer or whatever.
Yeah.
That dovetail was how much? What was it? 70, 80 bucks?
No,
oh God, no.
no, it was like 200 and change.
245.
Yeah,
Like 245.
245.
yeah. 70,
Yeah.
80 bucks is like the 350, 495, something like that.
Yeah. Good as heck. I've still
The
got
1100 is close
and
to
I've
$300.
I've got a smaller, and I've got the smaller one here for the 8, for the Edge 8.
Yeah.
Which one is that?
This
Is that
one
the
is
495 or is that the
I think
the-
it's a 495.
750? I can't tell really on the screen.
No, this one's a 495. This one's for
Okay,
the
because I was gonna say keep the 750 because that'll be a collector's item because they don't make them no more.
okay. Yeah, this is a 495, I believe.
It looks like a 495, yeah.
It's just, another notch down the rabbit hole.
It is.
Huh?
It is.
What's another 200 bucks, right?
Yeah, when you're already into it for what? 25 large?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Another.
Yeah.
Another.
Yeah, people they don't believe me when I tell them how much I got in my rig. They think I'm lying.
Yeah, well, just like some people spend money on cars, some people spend money on telescopes, and some people spend money on both. Very much
Yeah.
so.
Heck.
We got one on the
Oh.
screen and one in the chat. I'm sure they spend a lot on cars.
It's
So,
like women spend money on shoes.
Yep.
Men spend money on women.
yeah.
That's it. So,
And sometimes they're their wives.
Not for nothing. We all spend money on whatever. Whatever.
Unless you're at a Coldplay concert.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wow.
Ooh, bird. Ooh.
That's crazy. And it's funny because it said astronomer CEO gets caught at Coldplay concert having an affair. And I'm like, astronomer CEO? I said, you mean Astronomy, the magazine? No.
No.
So I looked it up. It has nothing to do with astronomy at all.
No, it has to do with like
Data management system.
data management. Yeah.
So I'm like,
And he got caught with his HR director.
yeah, the HR director and a co-worker.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
You know,
I'm sorry, but if you step out on your wife like that, you get what you deserve.
Hey, and not to mention Coldplay hasn't come out with a single in years, and they had 2 come out the other night.
Yeah, or maybe
So did he.
Or they created 2 singles the other night.
Yeah, they all did it as a TikTok media blitz. Anyway, that's our TikTok segment for tonight. What are you guys talking about?
I'm just like, oh my God, what am I
And
watching?
I did not start this. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. It wasn't you. It wasn't you.
It wasn't
Okay.
me.
Okay. There it is. There it
It was
is.
the other guy with the goatee.
Oh boy. Good Lord.
Yeah. So what do you guys got? Some good data last night. I got connected and everything. Everything went perfect. Got data on 3
All
images.
3, right? 3 targets.
Yeah, I got 3 targets, and I'm figuring out why it's doing that and going back and forth. It's because I have it set for whatever sets first goes first. So and it also has a secondary thing based on filter and height. So filter and altitude, I should say.
Right.
So there's a lot of things going on, and it tries to kind of do it the best it can. Where it is in the meridian flip, where so it does a lot of things. So now I'm not even. It's kind of like PhD, right?
Set it and forget it.
Who cares what the numbers are if your star's around, right? Nobody cares. Stop worrying about it.
Right.
Same thing with Target Scheduler. Who cares what it's doing? You're gonna get your data. Just hit the play button. It'll be fine. And you may not get it when you want it unless you turn everything off, but you'll get it eventually.
Yeah. Exactly, Sherry. Slap that like button.
Slap it.
Slap it. Smack it. Slap it. Flip it. Rub it down. Oh no.
No, don't rub it down.
Slap it like a TikTok mistress.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, he lost a subscriber. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Oh, he lost a lot more than that.
Oh, good.
His wife changed her name and everything.
Wow. Oh,
Crazy. But
welcome back. Well, welcome back to page 6. The social.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, my God.
Oh man.
Did Greg say anything about his eagle?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Said he's working with a guy.
He's got a guy.
Got a friend, computer friend, trying to help him out. So
yeah.
So yeah.
Friend.
I'm telling you, my IP address changed. The third. Yeah. Try this, Greg.
Oh, he's fixed. It's fixed. He said he's back in. It's fixed.
Try this, Greg.
Who's that? Who's got a back end?
I got. I'm getting echo from somebody.
Somebody's got their YouTube up.
It ain't me.
Who's got a back end?
I got. I'm getting. It looks like it's me.
It ain't me.
Yeah, there you go.
It's me. I'm sorry, it's me.
Somebody turn their YouTube volume on.
It looks like it's me. What?
Yeah, there you go.
Somebody turn their YouTube volume on.
Mute site. Where's the mute site? There you go. Now
there it is.
That was so weird.
Yeah. Echo.
Hey, Greg, was it your IP address? Just worried about it. I'm just wondering if it was your IP address.
That's weird that it changed like that. I wonder if I haven't had my Eagle up in a while. I'm curious if mine changed.
I spoke to Joe Sardina, and it makes sense. It sounds like they had a, I guess, unreleased power outage in the building, maybe that reset all the IP addresses.
See, this is also why I recommend something also like the Real VNC software.
Yeah.
Because Real VNC, it puts on basically a little agent on there. So it doesn't matter if your IP address changes, it connects via that agent because that agent's broadcasting, an encrypted signal, no matter where you are in the world, you'll be able to find it. Real VNC will connect to it.
Yeah, but if your global changes.
No, it doesn't. If your global changes, it doesn't matter because the agent is then going to, as soon as it connects back.
Because you got an agent and a client on the other machine too, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah.
That's something you download onto the Eagle?
Yeah, on both. You'll have
on both, right?
Yeah. You'll download that to onto the Eagle to whatever your Windows.
And it's called Real VNC?
Yeah, Real VNC. Yeah. You can get one that's free, a free version that you will support up to 3 devices.
I think I've seen that before.
Isn't it the one with the cone, right? Or is it the green eyeball?
No, it's the little blue one.
All right, I'm thinking of something different then. I thought VNC was a little orange.
The little traffic cone?
Yeah.
Was that VNC?
Well, that's type. Yeah, that's type
VNC player, I think maybe.
Yeah, that's type VNC. But there's Real VNC where you can install the server piece onto your Melee or to your.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking. I thought it was. I don't know. I thought it was a green eyeball.
Yeah. And all you need basically is to have your password to sign in because it'll just keep transmitting. So if your
Oh
IP
yeah, I
address
know.
doesn't
Now I
change,
see the logo. I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's what I use. I use Ultra VNC at work.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Ultra VNC.
Yeah,
That's the
because
green
your
eyeball.
VNC is pretty nice if you use the light one, the light version. It's
Yeah.
free.
Well, the Ultra VNC is not free, and that's why I don't have it.
Has anyone heard from Sean lately?
Sean, yeah, I spoke to him 2 days ago.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So
He's
Sean's
doing
doing
good.
well.
He's doing well. He's just kind of taking a step back from the social media for a little bit. You know how that goes sometimes.
Yeah.
And I just need a break.
Yep.
And he's doing well. He's hanging out in Canada. I spoke to him a couple days ago. We're still trying to get the Nebula nerds together for the podcast. Uh,
Okay.
and so we're still doing that. And yeah, no, he kind of fell off, and he's just going, he's doing his own thing, right? He's doing his own thing right now, and he's just trying to figure out how to kind of make some cash, I guess, So but he's doing well. Everything's good. He'll be on the show probably within a couple weeks, but
Okay.
he just needs a break.
Yeah. Right on. So what have you been imaging over there at Starfront?
Um, let's see, can I maybe I could, yeah, I could show you.
Yeah.
And because now I don't have to go back and forth with my computer, and you guys hear beeping and buzzing.
Yep.
Come on. There we go. And standard. And all right. So let's what is this? Here you go. Share. And screen two. There we go. Screen two, yes. Share. There we go.
Okay.
All right. Actually, Sean just texted me. He's like, oh, I showed him my blog, and he's like, thanks. It's cool. Anyway, so if I go to day modified, this is something I was doing as a test, so don't worry about that. But here is the ones that we did yesterday.
Okay.
So SH2101 is a tulip,
Yep.
uh, M8 and M16. So we all know what
Okay.
those are.
Yeah.
So the last time I did it was the 11th and 12th. Now it's the 18th. And if I just bring one up, and I have it offset for a reason, I kind of want to see some framing differential kind of stuff. But when it comes up, I'll show it to you. And there you go. That's one.
Cool.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
That's cool framing.
That's
Yeah.
cool framing.
So I wanted to get a couple of other things. I wanted to get some globule cluster, a little cluster up here.
Yep.
So that, and then we got that's which one is that? That is actually that's the HA, and that's a 5-minute shot.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, I like that. I like how you got that set.
And then I got M8's going to be pretty much a look at all this M8 data.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
You got all the channels?
Yeah, blue, green, red are here. Um, this is last month.
Using
Blue.
the whole Hubble palette on that.
Saw in the beginning, I think I did some Hubble somewhere. Blue, there's HA luminance.
Yeah.
Hey, show them up. Bring one up. Bring up your
So
HA.
here's the luminance.
Okay.
Stretchy. Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
And then here's the HA, which is even better, I think.
LC's asking, what's your setup at Starfront? You've got the Carbon Star with the
Yeah,
Pegasus.
yeah. Carbon Star. There you go. That's
Wow.
the HA.
God, jeez.
Yeah.
That's a 2-minute shot.
That's just 2 minutes.
That's 2 minutes right out of the camera. No flats, no
That's
darks, no nothing.
Yeah.
Man, oh
Starting
man,
to
of
see a little
shivers.
bit of a donut here. Just a little bit.
Man, oh man, of shivers.
Yeah, yeah. And then M16. So you got a lot of M16 too. There's a HA 5-minute, I think.
Oh,
Okay.
that'll be good.
That should be really good.
There you go.
Boom.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And I do have it framed off centered. But there's some cool stuff up here that I was trying to get.
Okay.
We'll see. I may just crop it to be this. Who knows?
Oh, I always crop into the Eagle because you want to see those pillars, man.
It depends. It depends. I might want to do 2 different shots. I might want to have a full and then a little guy.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the thing about the full is that when you rotate it, you get the it looks like a lady's profile.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
with the crown and the eye and yeah.
Yep. Where is that? It's the image.
So for those who may not know how, but if you're working with Nina,
Yeah, 180. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Here's a question. I got a question. So how do you go about setting up, when you're doing your framing, so you can offset a little bit and stuff like that? So we do a little bit of an instructional here. How do you go about doing that and sharing that with
Give me a second. I'll show you.
Yep.
And
So this
neener.
This is a scope in Texas. I'm gonna do it anyway, so I'm gonna start up my Nina sequence. And let's just you don't have to worry about that. It's nothing, low profile. There we go. The Eagles popped
Framing
up.
wizard.
And there's that. Let's get back to Nina. There we go. So it's actually very easy in Nina. And everything else pretty much has something similar to it. So let's just say you wanted, let's say M13, because M13 can be framed a bunch of different ways, right?
Sure.
So especially at 600 millimeters in focal length, which is even nice, which is something I want to do too. So you go to M13 and you click on it and load the image. So it's going to give you a couple of options here. It's going to load up the default and it's going to put it in the center. And then the field of view, I have it set at 6 degrees field of view. But it's also going to show you when it pops up what your camera is going to look like. This is your chip. This is the size of your chip. And same thing with ASI Air or the SkyX or whatever acquisition software you have. They usually have some sort of framing program that you could do something with. And it knows your camera's parameters from over here. So it knows your focal length and it knows the size of your chip. So it's able to place your chip size here.
Yep.
Okay.
And if it doesn't know it, you can input it.
Yeah. Oh, you can actually change it.
You can manually change it. Yeah.
You can manually change it, but you know what?
If your camera's connected, it knows, and if you've got your profile set up, it already.
Yeah, you got to have your profile set up right. So, but if you want this offset, so let's say I wanted to get, let's see what's in here. Let's make this a field of view of only 3 degrees. Shut up! I don't use Windows Firewall. Okay, let's load it again. Give it a second. So I'm making it a smaller field of view so it takes up more of my screen. Okay, so there's a lot of cool stuff over here though. Right? There's a bunch of galaxies, there's a bunch of stuff. They're really off to the edge. And where your eyes go is right to M13 automatically. It goes right to the center, it's big bright blob, right?
Of course.
Now what I want you to do is I want you to watch the RA and the deck up here
as you move it.
As I move this square, because if you click and drag this square, you could off frame it. So watch that RA. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to drag it. And then I'm going to stop let's say right there. Let's keep those 2 stars in there and see if that looks. Now everything changed.
Yep.
So now it's doing this as the center.
Yep.
So this RA and deck automatically triangulates the center of this frame.
Yeah.
And will plate solve to the center of the frame. So when I take a picture, this is how it's going to look on my frame.
Well, or more importantly, when you go to slew your telescope to that, it's going to slew it to that orientation.
Yes.
Provided your rotation is the
Correct.
same. So,
Correct.
but what you can do is if the dome's open and your thing's open, you can go down to what's the one up there is determined rotation from the camera. So if you have your camera and everything hooked up, right above that's turned off now because you don't have anything plugged in.
Right. Well,
But it can take a snapshot of the sky and determine what the rotation would be, and it'll change your field. It'll change where that square is rotated.
Yep.
You can save that in your profile so that you go back to it.
Correct. Yeah.
But if you are unfortunately in a position where you are doing remote imaging, then you're going to need to get a automatic rotator in order to
rotate it how
to make sure you can still image, and you can still image like this. Oh, why is this giving me an error?
Because the roof's closed.
No, this is the Pegasus.
Oh, the Pegasus.
Sometimes I need to reboot the Pegasus. Does it even see it? It's asking me for no, I don't want that.
Jax just jumped on. Hey, Jax, how you doing?
Oh my goodness.
Let's see. So if I gotta go, so I got a Wi-Fi power switch from Casa, which they do supply at Starfront, and the Nix is on its own breaker, and it's Wi-Fi. So I don't know if you can see this.
No, it's all white. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's 3 plugs here, and one's for the Eagle, one's for the Nix, and the other one's not being used. So I just turned off the Nix, and if it comes back on, you may see it on the screen in a second because I just rebooted it. Now let's see. There it is.
There it is.
There you go. Cool.
Okay. So so now as I go back into my equipment and mount, and it should be just fine. And bam, there you go.
There you go.
Those are nice.
Yeah.
So nice.
Starfront gives you 3 separate power.
Oh, you can get whatever you want.
Okay.
You can get whatever you want, but I got 3 because that's all I needed because I have the Eagle.
Right.
So the Eagle's powering everything except for the mount. I wanted the mount separate.
Yes.
So I hope that answered the person's question.
Yeah, understood.
Ow.
Oh, that's cool.
So and just let me share something else real quick because I found this out the other night too, and I kind of played around with my advanced sequence on this. And if you do and Greg's like, yeah, you should have done that to begin with, you idiot. But but here's the thing. So sometimes I'm not that smart. I'm not a smart man. But whatever the case may be, here's my sequence. And I kept on finding that, every once in a while, I wanted to make sure that the building, I know the building roof is open, so it's labeled safe. And I kept on waiting until after astronomical dusk because my wait till safe was always after wait for time, astronomical dusk. So I'm like, why am I doing that? So I just moved it up a little bit after it finds home, wait till safe. And then if it's safe, awesome. Then wait for the time. So I'm able to make sure that the roof files are connected. So there's a file. I don't know if it's here. Yeah, there's a file. They actually give you access to this hard drive.
Okay.
and it's password protected. I don't care if you know the IP address, it's password protected. But you go in there and you got roof and weather files. So your safety monitor is hooked up to your building. So I'm building 7, and you can see the roof status file. And it updates every 3 minutes. Right now the roof is closed.
Right, because it's still light.
Because it's 7:58.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it may open a little bit later. No, it will open later. But once it says open, right?
Yeah.
Then this will go away.
Yeah.
It will be
Okay.
safe. Because it's connected to
To that file.
the safety monitor here,
Yeah.
generic safety monitor.
Yep.
And you got to actually set this up right. You got to do some triggers per se.
Right.
So you got to say what is equal to safe and what is equal to unsafe. So
Cool.
you got to point it to the right roof building. You got the building file. Okay? And you got to say open is safe and close is unsafe.
It's unsafe.
And then Nina knows when to start, or else it will just start and the roof will be closed and you'll be a very upset person. And I've already done that once. So
That's
I
cool.
learned how to plug that up. Now there is another way under the weather, because if you saw, I haven't done it yet. If you saw in the
It did have a
there's
file for
there's a weather
weather.
file.
Yeah.
That's weather data, and you could link that up to Nina to
Through
here.
the weather.
I'm still unsure on how to kind of set that up a little bit, but if the roof is open, I'm assuming the weather's good. So
Yeah, I would guess. Yeah.
the only thing that would foresee it would be clouds, and that's something I kind of want to get into because I know there's a way. And Greg, maybe if you know something about this, if you're still there, you could chime in on this. How you could judge the picture on either SNR or something and realize that it's getting cloudy by less of an SNR, I guess, signal to noise.
I usually watch PhD too, and
Yep, me too.
Yeah, but how do you send that command to the mount saying, "Hey,
to
it's
stop.
cloudy, stop imaging and wasting my hard drive space," and then keep on revisiting to find out if it's good to continue imaging. You know what I mean?
But the whole thing also is if it's going to be too cloudy, would they just shut the roof, or is it if it's
yes, they would.
Yeah.
But
if it's just a passing cloud, then you just do recenter after drift, and you just throw away those
what I'm
cloudy
saying
photos.
is that they'll keep maybe it's cloudy where I'm shooting and not cloudy in the other side of the sky, right? So I want to not waste time and say, okay, maybe if the signal to noise ratio drops below this, then
Go somewhere else.
Go to the next target.
Flip to the other side of the sky.
Yeah, or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just thinking about things to do to optimize the time. So
Tom's asking, do they send you a notification if they have to close their roof during the night, or does your safe application park your scope?
So once it hits unsafe, I'll show it to you. I'll show it again. Here we go. Let's see. Share screen 2. So in my sequencer. So in the beginning, this is my startup condition. So as in the main sequence, as it becomes unsafe, this is what's going to happen. So it's going to pushover is going to send me a notification saying, hey, no matter what time it is, if it's 3 o'clock in the morning and it becomes unsafe, I'm going to get this. Pushover is a like a Discord kind of thing, but you do it once it says start, once it's unsafe, it'll say Starfleet unsafe, I'm parking the scope. It automatically finds home, it stops the tracking, and it waits until safe. Once it's safe again, it goes back to imaging
wherever it left off.
So it'll go back, it'll run the target schedule, it'll slew and go. And that's how that kind of works.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
I hope that answered your question. If you want, I'm more than happy to share my sequence. It may not be the best, and I'm sure there are better ways to do things. I'm always looking for improvements. So if anyone wants to take a look at it, I'll be happy to make the file available. You know what? I might even throw it on the Starfront saved, standard data stuff when I get the passwords out this weekend.
Here comes the electricity again.
More lightning?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Oh, Jesus.
every day.
That's horrible. It must be hitting you and going straight east because we ain't got nothing. It's beautiful here.
Nope. For some reason, I am in an area where this summer has just been hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? But I hope that answered everybody's question. Or
Can
Don't
we shift
don't
subjects here for
forget the week. I was going to say, just don't forget image of the week for those who haven't voted yet. So get over there to astroworldweb.com/IOTW, as well as image of the month. Next Friday is the announcement for image of the month for June. So do not forget, that's a big one. So
Yeah. Make sure you vote for the novice too. I saw there was a lot more in the other than there were the novice. So
okay,
vote for both. Vote for both.
don't be lazy.
Yeah.
Scroll
why
down
we
just a little more. Scroll it down.
That's why we want to add a third category.
Why? So they cannot vote for that too?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of doing something like on the website, and I was thinking about it today because we always have this discrepancy between novice and whatever regular.
Expert. Yeah.
Put it side by side instead of this way.
This way? Okay.
Do two columns. I'm thinking about that.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe that would help.
Maybe.
I make the two columns, the backgrounds, different colors, so it kind of catches your eye.
Right.
I don't know. I'm throwing some ideas out there just to trying to get that, but because I didn't vote, I'm gonna go vote.
There you go.
Elevation soil content affects lightning strikes.
Yes,
Thanks,
it does.
Swiftwater. Appreciate that.
Yes, it does.
I guess our high iron soil content here in Virginia.
Yeah. Have you ever seen lightning come right straight up out of the ground?
I've seen it. Yeah.
Pretty
I have
freaking.
not. Although I was driving down the street in East Rockaway on Long Island one time, and I'm driving down the street, and literally about, I don't know, 10 feet in front of me,
Mhm.
a sewer hubcap got impacted by a lightning.
Thanks, Ross.
A lightning strike, and literally, like the ozone in the air, you could smell it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
I've been close.
My whole body was charged. My hair was all like screwed up. It was scary. I was there with my ex-girlfriend
You're
at the
called
time.
an Einstein, huh?
Oh, it was pretty bad. Yeah.
It's scary, man. It's funny because you always, you see lightning and then you wait for the thunder.
I don't see anything.
When lightning's that close to you and you don't even see the lightning and you feel the thunder at the same time, it is like, oh my.
I don't.
You got to go to the bathroom and check your drawers.
Come on, guys. One at a time. One at a time.
Right. I don't see any photos for novice.
No, there were none this week.
Okay.
I thought for picture of the month though is what I meant.
Picture of the month though.
I didn't go there yet. So.
Yeah. For image of the month, there are two.
Yeah, there's three. Yeah, actually, there's three.
Is it three? Yeah, three.
Well, I'm going there right now.
Yep.
Astrophotographers. Yes. Novice bracket. Ring. 891 and 101.
And how many votes?
Right now, 8.
There was 2 the other night. I was the third.
Experience has 28, and it's under the novice this time.
Yeah, so that's why I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Scrolling past.
Well, I think people just scroll down and they go, "Oh, I like that one," and they hit "That's my final answer," and then it goes up, and then they don't come back down to the novice.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's enough separation between the two of them that they think it's all the same.
Okay.
That's what I thought, because I can barely see the experience bracket should be like bigger and centered, or and then say to a novice bracket, those words, make them bigger.
Okay.
Bigger in a different color, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, we could put them like in a different background and stuff like
I don't know.
that.
I'm just talking.
No,
Well,
no,
I like the idea of the side by side.
side by side.
Yeah.
And then you can, in each side by side bracket, you can pick whichever ones you want. Then you scroll down and hit submit, and it submits all three or all two of the, the two.
Yeah, it's
I
got to
don't
be
know if it
separate.
does that.
It's got to be separate. They're separate
They're
polls, so
separate
you can't
polls.
do.
They're separate polls.
Yeah, it'll
Yeah,
get
they're
so
separate voting
confused.
polls. So I don't know if that's possible. But having a different background, I think, will help out. Having a different color background will help it stand out.
I think so.
I just voted for both. So right now we got 31 votes for experienced and 11 votes for
Gideon.
novice.
Yeah.
Gideon Sanders.
Gideon's on.
Bloody hell.
Gideon, what's up, buddy? My friend from France.
Yeah. I will say
He's not from France.
one thing, as I'm learning more and more about Software Bisque and, and what they do and stuff like that, I have to admit, I'm pretty impressed with some of the things that they do send out for DIY and understand, so you can understand a bit more about your mount. Like I'll share, for example, if I go back here, let me share my screen here and show you what I mean. Share. And let me blow this up.
Blow it up.
This is pretty cool. They have a SolidWorks drawing where that you can even animate it a bit. So let me see if it's going to do that or not. Which I think is pretty cool. But for DIYers, and as you want to get more experience with the mount, you can explode this sucker.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, and then you can get an idea
of the inner workings,
of the inner workings of components, screws, screw locations, stuff like that, which
that's cool.
Is really, really nice. And definitely helpful for people learning a bit more about the mount and what to expect as far as what screw location, stuff like that, so you don't miss maybe.
Yeah, that makes a big difference. I refer to exploded diagrams all the time.
Yeah,
doing what I do, especially like exploded diagrams. Oh,
yeah,
like transmission valve bodies and stuff. Oh my God, you need them. You have to have them. Like transmission.
I mean, I guess you can even, like you can move certain components here.
Yep.
Like there's, the lock here. Move things around so you can zoom in a bit more on different pieces. I just have to, I'll spend more time as I get more experience with the Mighty on different components and understand.
Now you got to do it by default, right?
Huh?
You got to start learning by default at this point.
Well, yeah, I do. I mean, right now, what's good at least right now is that software, they give you a 2-year warranty. I believe it's a 2-year warranty. So I've just only had the mount since April. Yeah. So it's going to be fine, but
it's just annoying.
It's just annoying. Yeah. But
that's pretty cool though.
This is pretty cool, and it would be really cool if maybe even if other mount manufacturers would release this type of information, or share out this type of information for folks So if certain things are maybe out, if you're out of warranty or anything like that, or if it takes a while to get parts, or if you like to tinker and you're more, more mechanically inclined, I'll admit to a certain level I am, but to certain levels, like I'm not, or feel very uncomfortable. Because these are also these are also scientific devices, and they can have to be, I guess, to a point, be pretty darn precise to a certain extent, for tracking and everything.
Yeah.
It's like I feel very squeamish, I'll be honest.
I'm sure.
For me, it's like, oh, let me get in there and see what
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
this
For you
tick.
being a mechanic, because being a mechanic,
I want to see what makes it tick.
exactly. Me, I mean, if this was like a straight, PC or something like that, that would be one thing. But I mean, even to a certain level, if it was my car or in my case, my truck, I'm okay with, changing the oil, doing certain things here and there, maybe replacing the brakes, stuff like that, going in. But it just gets to a certain level, you're just like, yeah, no, here. You're like, you take it. This is much better in your hands than it is mine. Because next thing you know, I'll end up with a whole bunch of parts and saying, or screws and stuff like that. And like, how did I end up with, 6 or 7 more pieces than I started with. So it's just one of those things. But I think this is something that's really cool.
Yeah. So apparently there's been reports in the chat of another screwed up ZWO firmware update.
Oh,
The ASIR. We got 2 reports of that, one from a couple days ago and one from today. So it could be the same update, don't know.
yeah.
But can't help you, man. I don't use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's because they're trying to, eventually take off all those mounts that they used to support. And now
I don't think they are.
now that they got their own mount. Oh, sorry, we don't support
No,
that mount anymore.
let me tell you something. That would really push a lot of people away totally at that point, because then it's just like a spit in the face, That's
it is.
yeah. I don't think they would do that, but I could definitely see them not adding other mounts as they come out. But you never know. I don't think that's going to be, because see, the mount ASCOM drivers and the APKs that come out are pretty standard at this point. So it's a lot easier to implement mounts than it is anything else. Cameras, big problem. Different firmwares, different communication protocols. It's a big mess. But filter wheels are pretty much standard. Rotators are all over the place. You never know what kind of ASCOM drivers are needed for that. But mounts protocols are somewhat pretty standard.
Unless it's a MIT.
Yeah. Well, if you have a MIT using an ASIR, I'm gonna come over and
Yeah, but I don't know. Can you use an ASIR with MIT? Because you have to go through the Sky X.
It's got an ASCOM driver, I would think.
No, it has ASCOM drivers.
So I don't know if it's loaded up on the air. I have no idea. I couldn't even tell you.
I think it is actually.
But if you got a $5,000 plus mount and you're using an ASIR, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, they got astrophysics mounts on the ASIR. So the same.
Yeah, they have everything. But still, if you're using an astrophysics mount and have an ASIR, I'm gonna have a problem with it.
Smack.
Yeah, it's like what did they say with cars? It's like kind of having a brand new Corvette and putting old bald tires on it. So you ain't going nowhere fast.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of interesting things. I had a gentleman reach out to me today. and I back and forth in email, and it reminded me of kind of the things we used to do early on. We talked a lot about the different books that we get in learning this hobby, especially in teaching children. One of the things that I've been doing is working with some of the kids at our church to get them into this hobby at some level, and some. I think that as parents, especially with our kids, when we start talking like this, the kids, they glass over and they're gone.
Yeah.
It's way too much for them. And so I've been looking for ways to engage with the younger crowd. And when I say younger, I mean preteen, early teen, those kinds of kids. They're smart and they can grab it. It's just their attention span, it ain't there for a lot of them. So in grabbing their attention, so I had this guy reach out to me, and he has an interesting product that I'm going to be reviewing. But I wanted to encourage people that do have kids, and or they're thinking about reaching into a younger crowd, and getting books like this is a great field guide, right? And it has all kinds of interesting facts and things that you can learn about different telescope places around the world. It gets into the planets, down into stellar objects, and so on and so forth. And so it's a great reference book, and something that you can go through with your kids. This was my very first one from like 20 years ago.
Oh yeah, it's just classic.
Yeah.
It's a classic, right? The Practical Astronomer. This is just about as easy as it gets. All right. And when you get into this stuff, they're talking about the inner work, how things actually work. So this is another one. You can probably still find this on Amazon or on the internet somewhere, or something similar to it. You remember this one, Dan?
Oh, I still
Oh,
have it.
yeah, I've got that one.
Yeah,
I
it's
got
a
them
great
both.
book.
I got the first and second.
Yep. So, this is a primer for anybody that's getting into the hobby. This is an excellent primer. The other one that's really good is this one.
Yep. You're never gonna find it, but
Yeah.
you
So
don't
if
tell
you
them.
can't find it, grab it. You know, um,
And
fabulous reference.
nobody in their right mind would sell that book to anybody.
Yeah.
No, let me tell you something. You don't know how many times I've used that just to, and the best one is the little book in there.
Yeah.
The little book in there. You got it, the Pix Insight reference guide. That thing is awesome. That's the best part of that whole thing,
Yeah.
because you want to know something real quick about Pix Insight. Now, in all fairness, it probably is a little bit dated
Dated.
at this point. So some of the stuff may or may not be relevant, but for your basic process stuff,
Yep.
it's super relevant still, and it can help you out a lot if you can find it. Get it.
So the gentleman that I spoke with, his name is Vladimir. I thought it was Vladimir, but it's not. It's Vladimir. Okay. And he's got, I'm going to see if I can share this real quick. He's got this really cool product that is, let me get to share. What do I want here? I want screens. I want that right there. There we go. Okay. So,
I've been trying to get them on board with me for about a year.
well, I've got him.
Well, tell him to answer my email then, because he said we're still looking at vendors.
Okay. So, well, I'm already there. So I don't know if this will play. I don't know if you can tell me if you can hear the sound.
Make exploring the night sky
Yes.
easier
Yeah.
Okay.
than ever before. This beautiful box contains a set of 110 flashcards, the world's most famous stargazing list, the Messier catalog. The cards are color-coded by season, making it easy to know which objects can be observed at any given time. An index card is included to help you quickly find your desired object. We've designed the box wide enough for convenient browsing, so you can find the card you need without pulling them all out. The cards are sorted first by season and then alphabetically, ensuring a seamless and organized search experience.
Cool.
The cards are made of thick cardstock with matte lamination and rounded corners, designed to enhance durability and withstand your stargazing adventures.
Nice.
Each card is filled with only essential and engaging information. The front side features the object's name and type, a star chart with a Telrad ring and prominent stars to aid in star hopping, helping you locate the object in the night sky. An eyepiece view simulation gives you a realistic idea of what to expect through your telescope. A stunning image of the object, captured by a space telescope, provides a true representation of its appearance, showcasing its beauty and detail. The backside contains even more valuable information. Key characteristics of the object give you a sense of its size, distance, and movement. Observation tips set your expectations for how difficult the object is to find and observe, recommend the best equipment for viewing, and describe how it will appear in your eyepiece. The background information section offers a detailed description of the object, its discovery history, and a few interesting facts you can share with loved ones during your stargazing experience. And, of course, we chose all the colors with night vision in mind, so all text on the cards is readable under red light, ensuring you won't disrupt your adaptation to the darkness.
That's a great idea.
That's
Man, that's
smart.
really
That
cool.
is
Cosmos is
really,
vast,
really good.
mysterious, and waiting to be explored. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned stargazer, observing from your backyard or under the darkest skies, stargazing cards will be your trusted guide. Get yours today and start your stargazing adventure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's really,
So,
really
and I spoke, as I said, I spoke to him through email, and let me say, I need to stop share. There we go. I spoke to him through email, and he was very excited about working not only with us, but I also mentioned AstroWorld TV, Dan. So, and he looked at both my website and yours, and AstroWorld. So he's already sent a box to me, for to review, and he wants to
You
work with
you
us.
got something that I don't got, maybe. I don't know. But
He
I
wants to work with us. So
I am going to Scott B, right? Scott B. Go. I'm gonna put you on the tag on this. And I got an email from him April 29th.
uh-huh.
And thank you for reaching out. At this stage, we're still in the early phases. We're learning the ins and outs. We are working with a very limited number of resellers as part of a pilot effort. We truly appreciate your interest, and we've added to AstroWorld Telescope to our list of future partners. We'll keep you in mind as we continue to grow. That's all I got.
okay.
Yeah. Well, the email that I got from him, it sounded like, I mean, he's either really, really busy and he just forgot about it, but it sounded like he had never heard of you before. So it's, yeah. I believe you, buddy. I'm just saying.
Thank you, Volodymyr.
Yep. And that's the same guy. So he said that he looked at both websites and was very impressed, and not only impressed, but he really liked the general theme, that how we're presenting it. So so at any rate,
and just I don't mean to cut you off, just so you know, and I've opened up 2 more dealerships. One is with Toysmith.
Okay.
Who is a dealer of scientific coding and science toys for children under the age of like 10.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I got that going, like Euler discs and Newton cradles and all that stuff. Plus they also have coding robots where you can buy, and it actually teaches you how to code, like it's kind of cool. So it does it. You make the robot right, left, and you got to kind of hit the right buttons and give it the instruction to do certain things. And
That's cool.
Well, Dan, and guys, when I was growing up, one of my very favorite places to go was the Rochester Museum and Science Center and the planetarium, the Strassenberg Planetarium up in Rochester, New York. And I mean, the planetarium was huge. I mean, it's like a 300 seat planetarium. It's a massive planetarium. And it was one of my very favorite things to do. I loved it. And inside of the planetarium, one of the coolest things they had, both inside the planetarium and inside the museum, were the stores. And they had all those toys that you were talking about, and the kids went bonkers for that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
They went bonkers for it. So anything that we can do to help parents that are into this, that want to get their kids hooked, I think is a very, very good thing. And
Yeah.
this thing looked like a winner because,
Hey,
it's nice and
I
bright.
saw it. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, don't go ahead, jump.
So I saw it originally on Facebook back in April
Yeah.
because they were doing a big Facebook push.
Yep.
And I kept on seeing it. So I said, let me just email this guy. This is brand new. So that's what I got. Yeah, but I sent him an email back in late April.
Yep.
And maybe it's just time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send him a follow-up email, and I'm going to put you on.
Yep.
Put you on as a CC on it, and we'll work something out.
Yeah. And I sent him through my Astro Playground email, so he knows me both as Scott and Astro Playground. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just a matter of
Maybe he's had a couple of months and now he's getting used to the business and
Yeah.
he's ready to go. So
yeah, absolutely. So
I'll buy 50 card decks from the start and see what happens.
Heck
yeah, and I mean the card box itself, the whole set, it wasn't terrible. It's like $40.
It's $40 and I got cost is probably like 25.
Yeah.
So
I mean this book alone was this is $30.
yeah,
So
that's because it was a hardcover.
yeah, that's a hard that's right. Yeah, it's a hardcover. I like my hardcovers. I can't help that. But
I'm with you. They don't make a lot of them anymore, but
yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and announce our image of the week winner here. So let's go ahead and do that here.
Drum roll, please.
So we have Greg Myers with his Fireworks Galaxy, the horse head,
The seahorse.
Seahorse Nebula. We have NGC 6939, and we also have from him and from Keith with his Sea Star. We have the Bubble Nebula here, and I'm still very impressed on what we can get from a Sea Star. It's a really nice camera. Camera and telescope, smart telescope setup. And I told friends of mine who have young kids. I have a friend who has I believe it's called Marson's syndrome or disease.
Mm-hmm.
And he's maybe not even, I think he's 5 years old now. And so he's very interested in the stars. I share with him a bunch of my photos and stuff like that. He was going crazy over them. But he's just hooked on space and the stars and everything like that. And since he has also had difficulty with vision, I mean, he's at 5 years old. He's got these really, he's had trouble seeing. He's got glasses to help correct, but he's got that iPad and he's just really getting close to it to take a look at these images. And I told him, so I told my friend, I said, you need to start looking into, something like this to share with your little boy, because it's
Or
not
the
that.
dwarf.
Yeah, or a dwarf. I told him either one. He's leaning more towards the Sea Star, but I told him the dwarf and the Sea Star either one would be very good for him, and they can share this. He can go anywhere and check out stuff. So I'm really impressed with the Sea Star and these smart telescopes are being able to do, especially when it comes to people who are working and getting familiar with the cosmos. But even in astrophotography, I like it. So it's pretty cool. But here we are for July 18th. We had 26 votes, and the winner is Greg Myers, Fireworks Galaxy, and
I have a heart attack and die from that surprise.
yeah, and I know, and the Seahorse Nebula. So congrats there, Greg. But again, these smart telescopes, for using them for the right, if you have, for the right use case, like the one I'm describing with my friend and his child, they are really, really awesome. So, but congrats there, Greg. That's been a great shot, and love the article.
It is
too.
It's a beauty.
Yeah.
Sherry says Greg is banned.
No, Greg is the reason we need a third category.
Yeah, well, we need
Oh,
the
Greg, Tom,
Right.
Me.
Yeah.
you're not allowed to enter.
Sure, why not? Let him do it.
Greg, yeah, we could do that as a souped up level. All the Astroworld people can be in it, and
yeah,
and there's certain people that have consistently won picture of the month and picture of the week. If you win over like 7 pictures of the week a year or something like that, and 2 or 3 pictures in a month,
Yeah, you're relegated to expert.
yeah. Maybe you'll do something like a master class. Kind of like what Ross is saying here. I like that master class idea. So it's pretty cool.
Well, the off the rails tier.
Beat the Greg or beat. Yeah. Jaden's saying beat the Greg category.
The B, like, remember what was that? What was that gun in Doom? The BFG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a BFG. So now it's a BTG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beat the Greg.
Beat the Greg. Yeah. So very cool. All right. Well, we're pretty much at time here. So Super Dave, final thoughts?
I mean, I really don't have much, but outside of, I hope you guys getting some imaging. Dan, I want some of that data.
Well, yeah, you'll be getting.
I can't get any of my own, so I figure I'd live vicariously through you and Starfront.
Yep. I gotta wait for because I've been taking 5-minute images, and even though I probably don't need darks, I still want to take them.
Yeah, you should.
But I only have 2-minute darks, so I've been taking 5-minute shots, so that's not gonna work out. So
if you can take darks during the day, just
no, I don't trust. No, I don't. I can cap it, but I don't trust the light leaks from that cap. I really don't. And it's too bright in there.
Even with the door, with the roof shut.
Oh, it's really bright in there during the day.
Oh, is it?
How big is your filter wheel?
The filter wheel? It's a 7x2.
It's 7x2.
So you don't have an empty slot.
No, I don't have a dark. I don't have a dark filter. But so what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna wait for a cloudy night when the roof's closed, and have them cap it just like I did the last time. And take. I'm gonna take 10-minute darks and just optimize them maybe, or maybe I'll just take. I'm probably not gonna. I'll probably no. I'll probably do 5s and 10s.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna do 5s anyway, and then when I get more comfortable with 5s, I'll bump it up from narrowband for 10s.
Yeah.
So get those 600-second subs.
There you go. Scott?
Yeah, well, I mean, it looks like I might be actually able to get out and do some imaging. We'll have to walk outside. I trust what Clear Outside is telling me, but my eyes, I definitely trust. And keep your kids engaged in the hobby. Get them involved in what you're doing. With this, and educate them. To the wonder that is up there, because it is incredible.
Absolutely. All right, Dan, you're good, right?
Yeah, no, just it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be pretty awesome. The telescope is running already, getting ready for tonight. So it's cooling the camera right now for the next 20 minutes to get down to -5, and we're gonna be getting more data tonight. So for those of you that are at the level that's required to get the Starfront data sets, look out for an email from AstroworldTelescopes@gmail.com with your credentials this weekend. And please, if you have any issues with that, this is the first time I'm doing this with this amount of people. So please let me know if you have any issues downloading or you see any issues or anything like that. You know, I've always downloaded stuff off my NAS, but I've never given credentials out to, you know, more than my family and maybe two or three other people. So, you know, if people are downloading a lot at the same time, that may kind of
Slow things
be an
down.
issue.
We
I don't
we
know.
did we did test it again today from our end, by the way, and it worked fine.
Okay, yeah, you know, but once more passwords get out there, more people start downloading, you know, you know, it may create an issue that is unforeseen.
Yeah.
What else? What else? What else? So Toysmith, that's gonna be cool. I got another toy
Absolutely.
maker as well. That's gonna be, and I met the contractor today. I got my studio already, you know, set up in that little corner. I got AstroWorld on this side. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this other corner of the room yet, but maybe I'll throw a dartboard
Make
up
it your
there.
workshop or something, you know,
Maybe I'll
something
throw a
like that.
dartboard there. You know,
Yeah.
it's but yeah, no, that may be a good idea. You know, do a little workshop there.
Yeah.
You know, put some rubber on the back wall so I don't screw anything up. Get a vise and some calipers and a big enough table so I could kind of do stuff.
Yeah.
You know, right now my work table is literally I don't know 18 inches by 24. So that doesn't really work.
You gotta know
Um,
what you're gonna do with all that space.
but if you guys have any ideas on how to kind of what I should get for proper workstation and that kind of stuff, let me know. You know, but you know, tables, types of tables, tools.
Nice.
Lots of power outlets.
Oh, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I got my electric. My dad's got this awesome set of tools. He can fix this. But yeah, so that's it. I'm just very excited. It looks like mid-August is the day. Looks like we're about 30 days and gonna be hanging out at the pool,
There you go. New adventure. Nice.
smoking a
Oh,
cigar.
your house got a pool? New house got a pool?
Yeah, salt water.
Nice. In
Yeah,
ground?
in ground.
Nice.
In
Okay.
ground. 4 foot, 8 foot. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, nice.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love my saltwater system, man. It works like a charm.
Yeah, well, now I gotta learn how to clean a pool.
It's not
Oh,
hard.
Joe,
It ain't nothing. We'll talk. No worries.
Joe, real quick before we go, Greg had a comment. You should have a contest where everyone's processing your data from Starfront, and have winners explain their style.
Yeah, yeah, we could
That's
do
not
that.
a bad idea.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? I was thinking about this. What do you think about next Friday? I was thinking, or maybe one other Friday. It doesn't have to be next Friday. What do you think about, you know, sometime soon? I know it's been thrown out there. Why don't we do a community event where anybody could log into the Zoom and come on and just hang out and talk about Astro, like maybe once
That
a
would,
month.
I think
that
that would
would
be
be a
great.
great idea.
I think that'd be
Yeah,
a great.
I think that was kicked around a couple times and it just never pulled the trigger. But I think that would kind of be cool now that we got, you know, Zoom now, and I got the unlimited Zoom on this account, so we could do it over 45 minutes.
Okay.
So,
No, I think that'd be a great idea.
no, so let's pick a date, you know, on Monday or whatever, and let's throw it
Yeah.
on the and make it a permanent thing. We'll do it like every month, either one or two.
Norm's been suggesting this for like a year. He's saying.
That's where I heard it from. That's where I
Yeah.
heard it from. Yeah,
So,
so
let's talk. Let's chat on
gotta
Monday.
give credit where credit's due, you know.
Yeah, there you go. Let's chat on Monday and let's set a date.
Yeah,
And
let's figure out 1 day or 2 days a month that we do it, and we just have everybody on and talk about Astro.
there you go. There you go.
Sounds like a great idea.
It does. It does. All
Well,
right.
thank you, Norm. It wasn't my idea, so it wasn't my idea. So,
Yeah. All
like
right,
I said,
everybody.
I'm not a smart man.
Yeah. Yeah. Neither am I. That's why I send my things out to have smarter people do it for me. You know.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
So, but have a great weekend, everybody. And as always, keep imaging, keep educating, clear skies. We will see you guys next Wednesday. And just have a great weekend. Have some fun. So take care, everybody.
Take it easy, everybody. Bye bye.
See ya.